Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with interstate transportation.
The long-awaited day has finally come. Diddy was arrested on the evening of September 16th in New York, facing several charges including conspiracy, fraud, and coercion. But that's not all. Reports suggest he has more serious issues to contend with. Allegedly, KimPorter's family is now pursuing legal action against him, and his son Quincy might cooperate with federal authorities in their investigation. It seems there's no escaping this predicament for Diddy. His troubles have reached a new level. He was taken into custody in Manhattan about 6 months after federal agents conducted raids on his upscale homes in Los Angeles and Miami, and the case is becoming increasingly complicated. Prosecutors revealed in court documents that they have interviewed over 50 witnesses, with that number likely to rise. They plan to use financial records, travel documentation, electronic communication.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused and coerced victims to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
And video evidence from parties hosted by Diddy to build their case. If convicted on all counts, he could face a minimum of 15 years in prison, with the possibility of a life sentence. Not surprisingly, Diddy has pleaded not guilty and is fighting the charges. The defense team submitted a letter seeking Diddy's release on bail, proposing a $50 million bond. The letter indicated that his mother, sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons would act as co-signers. The bail package stipulated that his travel would be restricted to Florida and New York for court appearances, meetings with his legal counsel, and medical appointments. Additionally, Diddy and his children had surrendered their passports following the raids. However, after negotiations between the defense and prosecutors, the judge denied Diddy's bail request, meaning he will remain in custody until his trial. Reports indicate he is currently being held in solitary confinement at the Special Housing Unit of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, which is reserved for inmates requiring extra protection. This arrest has also revealed alarming new details about Diddy's situation. A shocking 14-page indictment was unsealed, accusing...
Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light.
Him of serious offenses. According to federal agents, not only did they find over 1,000 bottles of baby oil at his residences in Miami and Los Angeles, but they also discovered 3 AR-15 rifles. Can you believe they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Unbelievable. Diddy must have had a close connection with the CEO of Johnson & Johnson, given that he reportedly received shipments of baby oil at his home every month like he was keeping the company afloat himself. Finding 1,000 bottles of baby oil is just outrageous. These items are said to be part of a larger scheme involving Diddy's wild parties, where he allegedly hosted extravagant gatherings. The indictment details how these supplies were used, including controlled substances, extra linens, and lighting setups. It also reveals how he supposedly coerced women and those around him to meet his demands, protect his image, and hide his actions. Diddy is accused of leveraging his staff, wealth, and influence to build his business empire, which allegedly turned into a criminal enterprise. His actions reportedly included forced labor, fraud, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The indictment outlines multiple incidents from around 2009 onward, detailing how he mistreated women by dragging them, throwing objects at them, and more. Furthermore, the indictment states that Diddy lured women under false pretenses of relationships and compelled them to participate in these wild parties using physical and other forms of coercion. These gatherings were described as elaborate and included performances that...
We are going to be producing the Albie Shore life story. So hold on to your britches.
Diddy allegedly orchestrated and recorded. His staff would often reserve hotel rooms stocked with baby oil, lubricant, and additional lighting. Reportedly, these events could last for days, with Diddy and the others involved often receiving IV fluids to recover from their activities. Despite all these allegations, Diddy maintains his innocence. His lawyer, Mark Anelio, has criticized the prosecution, asserting that while Diddy is not perfect, his actions are not criminal. Anelio emphasized that Mr. Combs has fully cooperated with the investigation and voluntarily moved to New York last week in anticipation of the charges. He urged people to withhold judgment until all facts are known, claiming these are the facts of an innocent man eager to clear his name in court. While innocent may be debatable, Diddy and his legal team stand firm in their stance. During a press conference, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams stated that the investigation is ongoing and encouraged anyone with more information to come forward. It's unclear how Diddy's legal team plans to tackle this situation, but I'm certainly curious to see how it unfolds. Meanwhile, it seems Quincy might be a key player in all this. Reports suggest he could be cooperating with federal authorities or may already be involved. Additionally, Quincy and his biological father, Al B. Sure, are
And you'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security.
reportedly mending their previously strained relationship and spending more time together. An insider noted that Quincy, the son of Al B. Sure, and the late KimPorter and his father have been working on reconnecting and making up for lost time. During their time apart, Quincy and Al B. Sure, were recently seen together at a White House event. Although this is still speculative, sources claim Quincy has shared details with federal authorities about how Diddy treated his mother, KimPorter, behind closed doors. Quincy witnessed much of what his mother endured, and with federal charges against Diddy under the RICO Act, they're seeking evidence about all his associations with women. Before Diddy's arrest, Al B. Sure hinted at his mistrust of Diddy. He recalled the moment he learned of Kim's death, stating, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned about Lady KP's death, and it ripped the soul from my body. I know that Kim didn't just suddenly pass away from pneumonia. That's nonsense." Al even tagged Diddy in his post to ensure he saw it, suggesting Diddy bore some responsibility, adding, "We just celebrated our son Quincy's new deal and Christmas special with Netflix, and Kim was in fantastic health, laughing and enjoying the moment at the theater." In another instance, in November 2021, Al claimed that leading up to Kim's death, she seemed to be running from someone or something and even urged her to contact the FBI. Shortly after posting this, he edited the caption to say Kim was training for a marathon, but fans caught on to his original message. More recently, in March 2024, Al implied that Diddy might have been involved in Kim's passing and mentioned he was working on a documentary that would reveal shocking truths. That same month, following the raid on Diddy's homes by Homeland Security, Al encouraged Quincy to return home, sharing a throwback photo of them with the caption, "Come home, son. The door is wide open. You're safe here. I love you." Quincy had previously expressed frustration in an open letter about his father's absence in his life, questioning the significance of their biological relationship. He wrote, "The image of my father is all I have carried with me. I've always wondered where he was and if he ever thought of me. His absence has shaped the kind of man I aspire to be. I am grateful for my mother's love and strength." With all these new revelations about his father, especially concerning Kim, Quincy is now willing to collaborate not only with Al B. Sure, but also with other members of Kim's family. Recently, there were reports that Kim's family is seeking legal counsel and considering a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy, backed by physical evidence. With Diddy's arrest, they feel more confident in pursuing justice for Kim. They're also aware of speculation surrounding Kim's death. Contrary to reports, she was allegedly found on the bathroom floor rather than in her bed, leading to suspicions that she may have been moved. The original coroner who conducted her autopsy had even suspected foul play due to toxic substances found in her system, but he was reportedly replaced by another coroner who attributed her death to lobar pneumonia. It's odd that it took 2 weeks for the latter coroner to conclude pneumonia was the cause, especially as questions began to arise about Kim's death shortly after the first coroner's findings. Interestingly, Kim's last call was reportedly made at 2:43 a.m., but she was found later that morning at 11 a.m. Since Cassie filed her lawsuit, numerous details about Kim have emerged, and her family is hopeful that law enforcement will uncover more information. There may be some optimism, as U.S. Attorney Damian Williams stated that they are committed to seeking justice for everyone affected, which could potentially include Kim. So far, around 50 people have been interviewed, and prosecutors expect that number to increase as the investigation continues. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on how everything is playing out. Is this the beginning of the end for Diddy? Do you think Quincy might be cooperating with federal authorities, and will Kim finally receive the justice she deserves? Share your opinions in the comments below.